Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan, and yes, it is time again. E3 is right around the corner, just weeks away. And I cannot wait because this year I am going to be there. Thanks to a lot of you, and I want to again thank you for all the help that you gave during our 10-hour-long live stream. Many of you donated for that trip. If it weren't for your donations, I would not be going. So thank you again, and I cannot wait to be sitting there at the BE3 showcase. And that is what we're going to talk about today, what we can expect, not just from Bethesda Game Studios, but from every studio that Bethesda Softworks publishes. That's every studio under the Zenimax umbrella. So let's get started because that's a lot of studios. Last year's E3 started with id Software, and of course they started the conference with a bang as they introduced Rage 2. And of course we know Rage 2 was just released on May the 14th to what some say are mixed reviews, but most of them are pretty good reviews. They got mostly 8 out of 10 reviews on most of Metacritic and other reviews, some even higher. I absolutely love the game. And of course I believe that this year they are going to talk more about Rage 2 because they have introduced a roadmap for future content for Rage 2. So you can expect for id to talk about this future content much more in depth. They have laid out this content all the way through the fall of 2019. In fact, as you look at it, this roadmap that we have, you have things through June, July, August, and then several things in a big expansion number 2, all the way into the fall. The first expansion in August, the second expansion in the fall. So you can expect a lot of talk about Rage 2. But that is not the big thing that id is going to be talking about this year at E3. The game that id really came to show is the definitive first-person shooter. It is really the classic of all classics. Well, the original was anyway. And they brought that definitive first-person shooter classic of all classics back to life in 2016 and made a new classic. Of course, we're talking about Doom 2016, and now Doom Eternal is set to release sometime in 2019. And some believe that this is going to be the biggest game shown at the Bethesda Showcase in 2019. This game is certain to get a huge block of time during Bethesda Showcase this year during E3. It is certainly a big game, and it is going to be released this year. So they will probably either tell us of the date at E3, or they might wait and hold off until QuakeCon to tell us the date of release. But it is going to be released this year in late 2019, in my opinion. Doom Eternal looks like a masterful game, just more of what we got in 2016 with some upgrades. It is Doom 2016 on overdrive. Who wouldn't like the grappling hook? Oh, I love that thing. I cannot wait to see more footage of Doom Eternal at E3 this year. After id Software, Elder Scrolls Legends took the stage, and I actually have this on my iPad, and if you like card games, this is a good killer of time. And normally at E3 they bring a new pack out, a new expansion pack, so you can expect that this year as well, and that will be very exciting for those that are into this card game. So again, you can expect a new expansion pack from Elder Scrolls Legends, and that will probably be toward the front of the show at E3. Next on stage last year was Zenimax Studios, and this is where it gets very interesting this year. Now, I know what to expect, and I know what you're already expecting. We know elsewhere just released as an expansion for ESO. And by the way, it looks fantastic. Elsewhere with the dragons, oh, this looks great. I can't wait and to jump back into ESO because of it. But that is not the only thing that is going on at Zenimax Studios. Let me first remind you about their commitment to the Elder Scrolls Online. They have committed to bring us new content every 3 months. So we're not just going to hear about Elsewhere. We're probably going to hear about the next expansion and maybe even more, because every 3 months they've been bringing us new expansions. That is a lot of work. They have been working so hard at Zenimax Online Studios on the Elder Scrolls Online. But that is not the only thing that they have been working on. Zenimax Online Studios is apparently working on a new game with a different engine than the Elder Scrolls Online has, and they've been working on it since at least the fall of 2018. Now, details, of course, are limited, but all we know right now is it appears that this is going to be a new IP, that it's not going to be taking one of the old Bethesda titles like the Elder Scrolls and converting it into an MMO. It looks like it is going to be an online MMO type since it is coming from Zenimax, but it is going to be a new IP with a brand new engine, and they have been working on it since 2018. You say, KingFanMan, how do you know this? Well, I'll tell you. Last fall, Zenimax posted job offers for programmers for an exciting new IP. This was reported by several outlets. Now, of course, details on this IP are extremely limited, other than we know it is a new IP, and they are wanting programmers to work on a new engine for this brand new IP. So what could be this new game that Zenimax Online Studios is working on? Well, we could let our minds run wild here, but isn't it crazy to think that we might hear this year about a brand new IP coming from Zenimax Online Studios? There are several trademarks that Bethesda Softworks and Zenimax owns the rights to, like the famous giant monster news that you've probably heard about before, and several others. Maybe one of these will come back and be this new IP. I don't know about you, but I don't think I would be excited about playing giant monster news. However, there are a few of those names that do get me a little excited. That's not one of them. Next, let's talk about Arkane Studios, and this one really hurts me. I have been thinking really all year that we might expect something new, a new IP, something super exciting from Arkane, but the more I think about it, the more I analyze it, the more I look into it, I've really backed off that view because, number one, they have been helping Machine Games with the Wolfenstein game, and we'll talk about that more in just a minute when we get to the Machine Games segment. But that is one reason, and the second reason is Prey just came out in 2017. Okay, that is only 2 years ago, and last year at E3 they were still doing Prey DLC, so they really haven't had much time at all to bring anything super big and super new out. So I hate to say this, but I'm going to give Arkane at least a year off to work on something new. And oh, I hate this prediction, but we're going to let Arkane remain idle or really do something very small this year, as with helping Machine Games or doing something little on an existing game they already have. We may see something with Prey or something little with an existing game, but I don't see anything major, no major new game, nothing from Arkane, and I really hate that prediction, and I'm sorry about that because I absolutely love Arkane's games. I love Prey, I love Dishonored. They are really one of my favorite studios inside the Bethesda and Zenimax umbrella. I love Arkane, and I cannot wait to see what they have next. But let's give them a little bit more time. 2 years is just not enough, but I'm so happy to see them helping Machine Games, and let's go right there to Machine Games and talk about them next. Machine Games has an awesome game that I really wish more people were excited about. It is Wolfenstein Youngblood. They announced this at Electronic Entertainment Expo, and it is going to release on July the 26th, so just a little over a month after E3. This game is going to release, and it's going to be a smaller game and a cheaper game, and it's going to be a co-op game. It's going to be a $29 game, regular game, or the deluxe edition will be a $39 game. Now, this is the storyline for the game, and it sounds incredible, and again, it is a co-op game. It takes place 19 years after Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, so it is a sequel to The New Colossus, and it involves BJ's two daughters, Jess and Soph. Now, you can either play with another person or you can play with the computer. BJ, of course, went missing in Nazi-occupied Paris, and it's up to his daughters, Jess and Soph, to use their training that they've gained from their father to find and rescue him. Now, it takes place in the 1980s, as I said, 19 years after the events of Wolfenstein 2, and most of it takes place in Paris. And within this game, of course, just like with any Wolfenstein, there are going to be incredible weapons, gadgets, and wonderful power armor. If you know anything about Wolfenstein, it is a very unique power armor that you have, and that has abilities with it as well. I don't want to spoil anything. But what really gets me excited about this Wolfenstein, now I loved Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. I loved the first Wolfenstein. I've loved all the Wolfensteins, all the way back to Wolfenstein 3D. But what really gets me excited about this one, and I don't know why more people are really not just going absolutely crazy about this one, is Machine Games has Arkane working on this for the level design. Machine Games is doing all of the weapon play and all of that, and Arkane is doing the level design on this. So the level design is going to be crazy. If you know anything about Dishonored and Prey, then you know the level design on this is going to be absolutely nuts. So a co-op game with Arkane and Machine Games coming together. Why are more people not talking about this game? Why are more people not excited about this game? And it is a half-price game at $29.99, and it comes out a month after E3. It is my mission to get people excited about this game. Wow, this game has me so pumped and so excited. I'm more excited about this than I was about Rage 2. This is going to be an incredible game and an incredible experience for you and one of your friends. Now, with all that said, Wolfenstein Youngblood comes out a month after E3, but Pete Hines had teased about Wolfenstein 3. That means with BJ himself, the next true sequel of the Wolfenstein franchise. So I wonder if Machine Games is not also working on something else. Maybe that's why they had Arkane doing the level design in this game, so that they could be truly working on another game. So it would not surprise me at E3 if Machine Games did not also announce another game that might be coming out in the future. Again, it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't, but it would not surprise me if they didn't announce Wolfenstein 3 or something brand new. Think about it, I would love to see Machine Games step out there. Now, don't get me wrong, I would love Wolfenstein 3, and I want that. I can't wait for Wolfenstein 3. But I would love Machine Games to do something brand new. Just like I want to see something brand new from Arkane as well. A brand new IP. Oh, that would be great. So, you look. I know that Bethesda's going to have some surprises. They always do at E3. Machine Games may be one that has a surprise. That may be why Arkane was helping them. So you just watch them. Another studio that might surprise us this year is Tango Gameworks. Of course, they are the studio that gave us The Evil Within and The Evil Within 2. Now, this one has always been a mystery studio. We really never know what's coming from them. We normally don't get a hint until it's time for the game to come out. The Evil Within 2 was released in October of 2017. Have they had time to produce another game? Maybe not, probably not. But could we be surprised from Tango Gameworks? And if we were, what could we expect from this studio? This developer is a horror game studio. The designer, the director, all of them come from a horror background. But could they surprise us with some other kind of IP, some other kind of game? Again, Bethesda loves to surprise us. Could they team up with some other kind of studio? Could this be one of the studios that's working with one of those other trademarks? Again, I told you there are a lot of trademarks that are under the Zenimax umbrella right now that they've been holding on to for many years. Could this be one of those studios that releases one of those trademarks? I would love, again, to be surprised by Tango Gameworks with a game that's not a true horror game. I would love to see them step out of their comfort zone and do something a little bit different. I know most people are mainly interested in Bethesda Game Studios, and maybe I'm a Bethesda geek, but I love Arkane Studios. I love Machine Games. I have really come to love these studios under the Bethesda publisher. Now, The Evil Within and The Evil Within 2, I really liked those games. Those are not my kind of games, but those are very good games, and I played both of them and I enjoyed them. Very well done games. So I've really come to respect Tango Studios, and I believe some fans are really missing out on some really good games. So I hope maybe Tango might surprise us. But again, The Evil Within 2 just came out in 2017, so they might get a pass as well. Now on to the biggie, the one you guys have been waiting on. Bethesda Game Studios. But now we cannot just talk about BGS anymore, because they actually have multiple studios now. They have added 3 studios in the past years. They added the Montreal studio. Then they added the Austin studio. Now they've added the Dallas studio. So we can't just talk about BGS anymore. We have to talk about the BGS studios and what they may be up to. Well, let's talk about the projects we know they have going on and what we're going to hear about. We know we're going to hear more about Blades. Hopefully we'll hear about it going to the Switch and the computer and other platforms like Xbox and PlayStation, and maybe some new content for Blades. We know we're going to hear about Fallout 76 and Nuclear Winter. And by the way, we've already been hinted about new content in Fallout 76, and we've gone over that on the channel. If you want to know more about that, you can check out our last live stream where we actually went and showed some of those clues to the new content of Nuclear Winter in the world of Fallout 76. So they will do a deep dive into Nuclear Winter and tell us what is ahead. And maybe, hopefully, even go into the fall and what is coming in Fallout 76. But what else can we expect from Bethesda Game Studios? Is that all we're going to hear from them? Everyone is wondering, is there anything else? Are we going to hear about Starfield? Well, I direct your attention to the advertisement for this year's E3, where everyone is standing, staring at BE3, written in the sky, literally in stars. Now, why would Bethesda do this? Is this just a reminder that Starfield is on the way and that's what's in the future and we're looking toward that? Or are they telling us that they're actually going to talk about Starfield at E3? Well, we were told at PAX East by Todd Howard that Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6 will not be talked about, will not be mentioned. And now many people don't know what to believe and don't know what to expect. I believe that Bethesda has actually gone back and forth on whether or not to show any of Starfield this year or not. And remember, guys, that Bethesda is under the direction of Zenimax on what they're going to do and what they're going to show. So ultimately, the decision is up to the corporate office. And I believe that's gone back and forth on whether to show it or not. So if we get a trailer or if we don't, is going to be up to Zenimax. And it's going to be a marketing decision. And they've made some bad marketing decisions this year. I hope they make the right marketing decision and show us at least a teaser trailer of Starfield. It would be crazy if they didn't. But I'm not going to be upset if they don't. I'm going to be disappointed, but I'm still going to be excited for E3. And if they do, I'm not going to call Todd a liar. I'm going to understand it's because Zenimax is calling the shots. And corporate guys change their mind quite a lot. But guys, I'm going to tell you what I told you last year. I believe that Starfield, the game, is done. I believe it's done, packaged up in the box, ready to go. Well, maybe not that much, but it's done. It is absolutely done. It's waiting on the new consoles to hit the shelves. They are waiting on Xbox, the new Xbox, and I believe that will be next year in 2020. Sadly, that's all we're waiting on. So if Xbox would come out this year with their new console, we could have Starfield this year. So if y'all want Starfield, call up Microsoft and tell them to hurry up. Either way, what an E3 it's going to be. But wait, there's still another studio that we haven't talked about yet. That's right. Remember, they have a new studio in Dallas. So let's go over the studios. Their Montreal studio is working on Blades and, I believe, a new project, which is the Starfield mobile game. The Montreal studio has always worked on mobile games, so that's what the Montreal studio is working on. The Blades game, hopefully new content that we'll see at E3, and the Starfield mobile game. The Maryland studio, which is the main studio, they are finishing up anything that needs to be finished up on Starfield, and they are already working on, guys, it's already been confirmed, they are already working on the Elder Scrolls 6, because we've already seen that, guys. We saw it at PAX East. They are already doing character creation, and they're already laying down landscapes. So pre-production has already moved into maybe not full production, but yeah, they're already working on the Elder Scrolls 6. So Maryland is working on those two games. Austin, we know, is working full-time on Fallout 76, and they are working overtime, really, because look at all the content that is coming out of the Austin studio. That leaves the Dallas studio. What is the Dallas studio working on? Some believe that Dallas is helping the Austin studio on Fallout 76. Some believe that the Dallas studio is actually working on a Fallout 3 remaster or a Fallout 3 Switch version. But This is very interesting. Remember, I told you that Wolfenstein is coming on the Switch. Did you know that Bethesda hired Panic Button to actually develop Wolfenstein on the Nintendo Switch? So could it be that we get a Fallout 3 on the Switch, but it actually comes from an outside studio? Oh, I would love a Fallout 3 or a Fallout New Vegas on the Switch. That would be incredible. Well, I'll just leave it here. I believe this is where another one of those Bethesda surprises may come in, because yes, it has been said by several that there is a unnamed project that is being worked on by Bethesda, and I mean BGS. There's all kinds of guesses going on, but there is an unnamed project. Is it a mobile game? Is it a remaster? Is it a Switch? Nobody knows. A lot of guesses going on. Is it going to be ready this year? Is it going to be announced this year? I think it is. I think it's coming from Dallas. So get ready for a surprise. That is the wonderful thing about E3. You don't want to know everything. You want to be surprised. At least I do anyway. Now I want to be able to shake the boxes and kind of have an idea, but yet I still want a little bit of a surprise. Now I'm going to be right there in the front row waiting with anticipation to see what surprises come, but oh, I can't wait. It's going to be like Christmas morning. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this breakdown of the Bethesda Studios, or the studios, excuse me, under Zenimax now. I still call them Bethesda. And I hope you're like me and can't wait for E3 2019. Right now, I want to hear what you guys think is coming at E3. You tell me down in the comments. What did I get wrong? What did I get right? What do you think is coming this year? I really want to know. I want to hear it from you, because I know we've all been shaking those boxes to see what's coming. Y'all also check my links down below. If you're not following me on Twitter, do that. I make posts every day about Bethesda, so you can stay up to date with the world and the news of Bethesda. Also, if you can and if you're able, become a partner with this channel and be a Patreon. Hey guys, I appreciate all that you do for me. Thanks for watching this video to the very end. I am the KingFanMan. I'll see you guys at E3. Bye guys.